Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Empowering Teachers Worldwide. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about using stories and a particular story, The Little Red Hen, to develop science and arts and crafts projects. Now, as we all know, stories can be chosen to link English with other subject areas across the curriculum. Storybooks add variety and provide a springboard for creating complete units of work that constitute mini syllabuses and involve pupils personally, creatively, and actively in a whole curriculum approach. And they provide an alternative to the coursebook. And here is where we are going to put our focus today. Stories can reinforce key content areas and concepts across subject areas. And of course, they offer variety and something new. And also, stories can maximize the limited time often given to foreign language learning by offering opportunities to revise or review relevant language as the opportunity arises. For example, taking 2 minutes to revise numbers in English in the math class. So let's have a look at The Little Red Hen. This is a story about a hen who one day discovers a grain of wheat in the farm, and she wants to plant this grain of wheat. Nobody on the farm would help her. She plants it and then asks for help to sow the harvest. Nobody helps her. That is, she asks the cat, the dog, the sheep. Nobody would help her. Then, well, eventually she makes flour, and then she makes a cake. And of course, when the cake is ready, everybody wants to have a share of the cake. So it has a lot of ideas for values teaching, but today we're going to concentrate in arts and crafts and science. With the story, we can talk about the environment, nutrition. We can talk about maths, values, of course, literacy, arts and crafts, and science. Arts and crafts, for example, we are going to look at making masks, puppets, a farm alphabet chart, a map of a farm, a chef hat, sequencing, and dioramas. So here you have some examples of finger puppets and masks that you can make with very simple elements. And we can use these for retelling the story and for acting out the story, because there are many characters and there is dialogue in this story that children can act out using the masks or the finger puppets. You can divide the class into groups and give each group member a character, or ask each group to be a character. So they can help you tell the story by saying their characters' words. The masks are also very easy to make, and of course you can search the internet and you're going to find lots of templates for making animal masks. So you can ask, that is, you can copy the templates, you can cut them out and give them to the children to color, and then you mount them on ice cream sticks, on popsicle sticks, and they have their own, each child has their own mask. And they can hold these up during the whole class story sessions to show their understanding. So holding up the correct character puppet as appropriate, or the correct mask as appropriate. And they can be used as alternatives to the finger puppets. You can use the finger puppets to tell the story, or they can be used in groups of 5, and each pupil has a character finger puppet, and they role play the story using those. Yes. You can also make an alphabet chart. Yes, that is, ask the children to think of things that they can find on a farm and try to find one thing for each word of the alphabet. You can give them crayons and pencils, large pieces of paper or cards, and they can make their own chart. They can use old magazines. Does anybody still buy magazines? Well, maybe draw pictures, and they can look for words beginning with different letters of the alphabet and make cards for the poster. They can also make a chef hat, which is also very simple to make, and they can explain how to make bread, for example, or how to make a cake eventually. Then they can draw or color a map of a farm. You can give them different pieces of colored card, scissors, glue, pencils and crayons to make the animals and plants. They can also use different materials, cotton, little pieces of wood, branches, leaves, whatever, and make a big collage. And they glue everything onto the poster and decorate it. And they can think of all the comings and goings of the little red hen while she was planting the wheat, sowing the wheat, and then making the flour and the cake, etc. Then we can do sequencing activities. A sequencing activity can be done individually, in pairs, in small groups, or as a whole class. It would be useful to have some ears of wheat, for example, for the pupils, to understand where wheat seeds come from. Some flour or bread, so that they can associate one thing and the other. You can discuss with the pupils the process that takes place before wheat can be made into flour and then made into bread. And you can ask them to draw the sequence. Or you can give them a sequence like this, and they can decide what the correct order is. There's another thing that children like making, and it's dioramas. Here you have an example. They are simple to make because you can use everyday materials. You need shoeboxes for the farm area, small boxes of different sizes for the barn, the farmhouse, glue, watercolors to paint or color pencils, Play-Doh. You can use popsicle sticks or assorted materials, small branches for the trees, toy animals, or printed animals. Toy farm vehicles, cotton wool for the sheep, etc. And they can create their own farm. And then you can have a display of all the dioramas that the different groups have made. Now, if we go to the science side of things, there are also different things that we can do with students, with the children, because this is aimed at young children, really. For example, you can show them these pictures and ask them which 3 animals lay eggs. For example, you can ask, does a rabbit lay eggs? No, that is, they just answer with yes or no, depending on their level of English. You can ask them to offer more examples and help them with vocabulary. For example, you can ask, okay, can a duck lay eggs? Yes. And what about a turtle and a fish? So you take advantage of this activity to explain which animals lay eggs and which don't. you can ask them, for example, can you think of two animals that lay eggs and swim? Can you add one more animal that doesn't lay eggs? How are all of the animals alike? How are they different? And have them compare the animals. If they are big, they are small, they have 4 legs, they have 2 legs, etc. Then you can work on the life cycle of a hen. And here you can pre-teach some vocabulary like life cycle, chicken, egg, hen. So you can give them ideas, yes? For example, you can say, a tiny chicken grows inside an egg. The chicken comes out of the egg. The yellow chicken eats and grows. The chicken becomes a hen, and the hen lays an egg. So you can ask the class to look at the pictures and order them as you say the sentences. And they can then make a poster or a collage with their own interpretation of the pictures that they have seen. Here you have another example. Also, you can ask them, for example, which things grow from seeds? They have seen that wheat is made up of seeds. An ear of wheat is made up of tiny seeds. So you ask them, which things grow from seeds? Do stones grow from seeds? No. Do insects grow from seeds? No. What about corn? What about trees? What about roses, flowers? So they begin to have this idea of the things, how things grow, where the things come from. Another thing that you can do is work on the life cycle of a plant. So, again, you may need to pre-teach some vocabulary, but then you say, you read these sentences for them, and you ask them to match the sentences with the pictures. So we plant a seed in the ground. The seed becomes a big plant. A tomato grows on the plant. There are seeds inside the tomato, and the seed starts to grow. So they need to listen to you. They can read the sentences, but it's better if they listen to you and they decide which sentence goes with which picture. You can also ask them to think what things that we buy at the supermarket or in a shop come from a farm. And show them, for example, a carton of eggs, a carton of milk, beef, vegetables, fruit, etc. So that particularly children who live in big cities and are not used to going out into the countryside and see and visit a farm. With older children, we can make a seed jar. I bet that many of you have made a seed jar when you were at school. I remember mine. So it's very easy to make. You take a jar, plastic or glass, you put in bean seeds, paper towels or cotton, and water. And as the seeds begin to grow, you can ask the students to label, let's say, the parts of a plant. They have to identify the roots, the stem, the leaf, the bean, and the seed. And you can help them describe the cycle. The seed We plant the seed starts to grow, the seed becomes a plant, and here, for example, we have beans, then we have the little beans that begin to grow. Yes. Again, with older students, you can begin to keep records. You can ask them to keep a record. This is a very simple record where for younger students, for each day, they start measuring the bean plant. And so as days go by, they write down how tall the bean plant is. Then you can have more sophisticated, let's say, record keeping with older students. It's an excellent way to record observations and prepare a data chart. So they can mark the number of days that have gone by from the initial planting on the horizontal axis, and the total number of seeds that germinated on the vertical axis. And each day, that is, as a class, you plot the observations on the chart. So they can have the charts displayed in the classroom, and the results can be easily seen there. Yes. Also, you can keep here, an accurate record. This is also part of science classes, yes, observation and record keeping. So they can create a journal to record and track the process, the progress of the experiment. And they should prepare in advance of starting the experiment several pages in their journal in which they can record each day's observations. So by having the record pages prepared in advance, they can have a neat set of observations, and there is minimum risk of forgetting data or losing data. And also you can ask children to create a poster like this and show and display plants that grow above and below the ground. They look for different plants that they can grow in a farm, and they classify them into plants that grow above and below the ground. And also, we can discuss with them the plants that we eat. That is, we eat plant parts, and we can eat different parts of plants. So you can teach them the plants that we eat, the parts of the plant. For example, in celery, we eat the stem. Turnips, we eat the root. With broccoli, we eat the flowers, etc. Well, this is something very simple, very, very simple, some ready-made ideas that you can use tomorrow if you wish. If you would like to learn more about this, you can send me an email. You can visit my website and subscribe to my newsletter, where you will find more ideas for using stories for different purposes. We have a newsletter coming out tomorrow. That is, tomorrow is the 13th of November, and there is a handout together with the subscription to the newsletter. And of course, you are always welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can click on the bell to keep informed of any other videos that I upload. Till the next time, bye-bye.